Hi, I'm Missy, broker owner of Missy Stagers Realty Partners. Been in business for over 30 years. So we moved around in a lot of different areas. I've lived overseas, East Coast, West Coast, from the Midwest. We landed in San Antonio, and about 6 months after we landed here, my husband and I looked at each other and go, we're not moving. We raised 3 kids here, and I have a daughter from Moldova that's been here 12 years now and just graduated with her master's degree. Our kids ended up staying close, and I have a son that, due to my grandson, had to move to Houston, but we've all stayed in Texas. We love Texas. And all my kids work for me, except for my Moldovan daughter, Tanya doesn't, although someday she may. And my oldest grandchild, I'm hoping to get into the business. But I'm a grandma of 4, and I have 3 kids. And my husband actually came to work with me too. I did say with. He does commercial real estate, so it's been a lot of family involvement. My kids will tell you they've been fired multiple times because I don't tolerate much, and they might, in fact, so much so that my son calls me Missy at work and Mom at home because I'm very businesslike at the office. I got started with Guy Chipman Company, local broker, boutique, very well known, awesome company. And then he sold his company to Deanne Harper, and I stayed because Deanne had the same values as Mr. Chipman, and it was a great relationship. Throughout the rest of my real estate career, Deanne has been an awesome mentor to learn business from. And also, I loved her integrity and the person that she is. She's like a second mom to me. So Karen Nolan was my first mentor. She was a top agent at Guy Chipman Company, and I wanted to learn everything I needed to know. So I asked Karen if I could tag along with her, and she said yes, and showed me the ropes, and took off from there. So in 2017, I stepped off the cliff and started business all over again by starting my own brokerage. We started out very well, and then COVID hit. During COVID, we had to overcome a lot of people's fears. It didn't matter if they wore masks, didn't wear a mask, wanted to see you, didn't want to see you. They still had a need, and we needed to serve them at whatever level they needed served. If it meant we put gloves on, mask on, and full suit, we're in. If it meant that you didn't care and you just wanted to shake hands anyway, then we shook your hand. So we tried to make people comfortable with that and figure out how we get to their goal, even with all of those fears. It was important because they had a need, and it's just how do you get there and make them feel comfortable. One of the things that COVID taught us was technology, that we needed to get on board with it, run with it. There was a lot of new technology introduced, be it Zoom. Who heard of Zoom before COVID, where everyone learned what Zoom was during COVID? We learned a lot about virtual. We jumped on it. We learned how to use it in our business and actually cultivate it so that people felt comfortable as well as ourselves, because it's like teaching new technology to older people that, you can teach new tricks to an old dog. Technology is something that's coming at us faster and faster and faster. And really, if you're not on board, you're going to be left behind. The saying that San Antonio is a small town, but it's a really big city is very true. This city doesn't feel like it's massive, even though it's getting bigger and bigger every day. It still feels like a small town. And I say that because of the people. People here talk to you. When we moved here from California, I called California like a vacuum, because your garage door went up, sucked people in, garage door closed. Nobody ever talked to anybody. Whereas here, people talk to you when you open a door, people talk to you at the gas station, people talk to you at the grocery store, and when they do talk to you, they mean it. And that is what we love about living here. It's a short distance to everywhere. I love to go fish, so I do get to the coast to fish at least once a year. I also love hill country. We love to do wine and the wineries. I think the growth of the wineries has been amazing along 290, and then also up through Bernie and Comfort and all of those side little towns. One of my best places that I went to that I actually took my grandkids to was there's an elephant refuge up towards Fredericksburg, and you actually get to pet the elephant, feel the bottom of their feet and everything else, and that was quite an experience, and I did enjoy that a lot. People ask all the time, so where's the best place to live? And my true answer is there is no best place. It's what's best for you. I think two things that are really important in answering that question is, what's your commute time and where do you work at? Because that's really going to dictate you. Plus a third one, how long you're going to be here. That's really, really important. And I say that because if you're only going to be here a short time, like a lot of military, some are 2, some are 3 years, some are 4, you don't want to buy in an area that you're going to see competition from builders. It's very difficult to compete with a builder who has deep pockets, who can give deep discounts. And so you want to think about that before you purchase. Now, if you're going to stay in a home 5 to 10 years, there's not an issue. Rule of thumb had always been it takes 3 years to break even. In the past few years, you could actually take 2-3 months and break even. That has gone away, and we're going back to much more steady economy, and that increase month over month is not here anymore in that drastic amount. So if I give you my prediction of what the next 5 years is going to be, I do think this year is going to be good. Last year was not horrible. I mean, we sold the same amount of homes, so everybody wants to say it was a down market. Well, it wasn't that down. It's rather you had to learn how to go back to work or not. That's going to be true moving forwards. We're not going to see the gains that we've seen, and that's really what people had a very difficult time adjusting to last year. It wasn't put it on the market day one, week one you sell, and then you close in 30 days. It now takes 30, 60, 120 sometimes days to sell. We are back to more of a normal selling cycle, and in addition to that, back to you got to win the beauty contest and you got to price it right. There is no more slap it on the market and expect every Californian to come here and buy it, irregardless of what you have it priced at, because they don't have a clue. They'll pay for anything. Hearing that all the time just makes me have fingers on a blackboard. They're not stupid, and they are conscientious of their money, even though we are more affordable. So they are not migrating here as much. In fact, Zillow just came out that we're 49th on the most popular place to live for this year. So we have gone from being in the top 5 down to 49th. There was an interesting article that just came out. Are they still migrating out of California, Illinois, New York? Those are the highest migration states. Yes. Are they necessarily flooding into San Antonio? No, not anymore. Not like they used to. So to further my prediction for the next 5 years is San Antonio is really going to be slow and steady. We've always been that way. We've been known for that. We don't have the highs and the lows. The last 2 years coming out of COVID were kind of crazy. That is not our norm for here. I think it's really important to understand our dynamics. We're not going to be affordable anymore. We've surpassed that. But I do think after this is my third market change. I've been doing real estate for over 30 years. That it is back to that slow and steady. We're still going to see some areas with housing shortages, only because the city is pushing out and people have low interest rates that they're in. They're not willing to give that up. because to move up means you're going to have a significant difference in payment to achieve that. So our housing is still going to stay somewhat condensed, but also we have more supply than what we had 2 years ago. And so it's just really important to understand that we're getting back to normal real estate instead of the craziness, because we definitely had some craziness. But I think the next 5 years are still going to remain very strong here in San Antonio. And the price range, we used to never have over $1 million houses. Now we have lots of them, and there are lots of people buying them, and that's big for San Antonio. 500,000 when I first got started in real estate was expensive in this town. Now 500,000 is more lower end. So I'm not a breakfast taco fan. My breakfasts are a little bit more organic than that. But if you want a really good margarita, one of my favorite places is El Haro. And that's a 2 margarita max, because if you have more than that, you better have an Uber.